next day. And so I want this to be a really casual, like networking sort of opportunity. And since we're in Japan, I just want to share like other opportunities within Japan that talks about this girls getting together. So this is again called Tech Girl, and it's more like higher layer open source or like web designing or upper layer people getting together. And so I think they started organizing this event from last year, so it's all the lightning talks that girls do. And then they would have who's got a butler, who's a male, so ring like this, and then they'll ring the bell when the time's over, and it's really interesting that themes are not necessarily technical. So the last theme was, how do we live without being bound? How do we live freely? So some people just gave an update, hey, I work every day to work, and you see the reactions of people, or some of the contents were technical, so it was kind of fun. And that's a character of this event, and I thought maybe I'll have some synergy for Ribbon today. And another thing that happened was JANOC is a network operators event in Japan, organized 2 times a year, I think. 2-3 times a year? I don't know. But anyways, so it's like NANOG, or I don't know, maybe RIGHT would be an equivalent in Europe. And Dawn over here organized this session that talks about girl talk in JANOC, and it was open to men, and many men wanted to. It was really surprising. Many men wanted to share the experience of how they feel about working with women, which was generally positive. And so this is how Dawn spoke at the session with energy. And I thought that it might be a good opportunity for Dawn to share a little bit of her experience as well. So Dawn, would you like to share? And I think she has some slides to be more visual. So she'll be mostly speaking in Japanese, but the slides are in English. Oh, and one more important thing. Of course, maybe some of you already know, we already have what's called Net Girls. And so it's like a, I don't know, social opportunity for girls in the industry to get together. Mostly, I think, maybe for like meals, dinners, lunches at events such as NANOG, RIGHT, I don't know what else, where else. And we actually have stickers with 3 different colors. So if you're interested in any of them, you can come and get them. And also, there's a card that tells you how you can join the Net Girls if you're interested. So come and grab them if it clicks to you. So Dawn.
Yeah. Might make sense, yeah. Hello, my name is Kinuko Mitsuki, but you can call me Dawn. I cannot speak English, but my presentation is in Japanese. 泉ちゃんがじゃあここからは日本語でいきます。私は20年間、この業界で、働いています。まずは NEC という会社に入って、Unix とかUnix のサーバーのオペレーションとか、あとセキュリティのリサーチャーみたいなことをやっていました。それから MEX という、AS7514 というのを持っているデータセンターとか ISP に入りました。でその後 CC で今に至っています。で MEX とか CC ではサーバーとかネットワークの
And so NEC is a major vendor in Japan, but also have this ISP service for APRICOT, and so she's being engaged in security research in NEC and involved in server network management in an ISP called MEX, which is a member of JPNIC, and you're also doing management of data centers.
まず、女子は男性に劣っているかということについてお話ししたいと思います。結論は劣ってないノーですね。運用の現場で私が
Are girls like in terms of engineers, are female engineers, not as good as male engineers? The answer is no. That's what she's going to talk about.
運用の現場にいて私がいつも感じていることは、開発とかオペレーションとか頭を使う部分っていうのは女性と男性で全く違いはないっていうところを感じています。で、女性がもし不利なところがあるとしたら、男性よりも小さいとか小さいとか、あと腕力がないとか、そういったところぐらいしかないんじゃないかなっていうふうに思っています。
She basically thinks that the ability of the engineer there's no really difference in terms of the things that you need to bring. But there are some differences in the physical abilities. So women generally tend to be a little bit shorter, or we don't have physical strength. Not in terms of vitality, but we don't have as much power as men. So that's the difference.
で、じゃあこれはどうやって、カバレッジしたらいいかっていうのをちょっと考えてみましょう。
These disadvantages.
まずツールを使ってみましょう。で、身長とか体力不足はツールでカバーしましょう。で、ジャッキみたいな大きなものはいりません。で、ステップラダーみたいなちっちゃなもので、高いところにマウントをしたりとか、あと、静電袋スタックで引きずったりとか、緩衝材を使って凸凹を減らしたりとかっていうので作業がしやすくなります。で、このステップラダーは私のボスが、私の誕生日プレゼントにくれたものです。
Yeah, I really like how it doesn't show so well in the slides, but actually they're like parts that's in pink, and it's a birthday present from her boss. This step ladder on the photo. So she's basically saying you actually don't need like grand tools, but you just need like a bit of small things, such as those like step ladders to put things in a high level, or like if you want to carry something that's really heavy, then use like this bag that's supposed to be a static stopper, and you can put things there, and it's like really smooth to move things. So you can use these kind of things to make work easier for you.
あとは道具を選びましょう。で、私たちは力が弱いので、力が入りやすいようなニッパーとかドライバーを使うようにしています。
So we don't have much forces as men, and so I think it's really good, important we choose the right, good tools, so that you only need to apply less power. And then I think from her Januk update, she was telling me that a lot of male engineer come up to Don and, hey, can we use your tools because it's so easy to use? So I think it's kind of cool that she's using these kind of things.
あとは頭を使いましょう。あと男性も使っちゃいましょう。ちょっとした工夫で作業がしやすくなります。で、この原理を応用したりとか、スイッチバックの要領で低いところから高いところに荷物を持ち上げたりとか、あとは男性にお願いをしましょう。で、高いところへマウントするときは男性にお願いするんですけども、お願いするだけじゃなくて私を代にして使ってくださいって言って協力しましょう。
So yeah, there are things that you can apply the principle of leverage to move something heavy, or switchback. I think it's like switchback of trains, and then from high to low, you can use those things to carry something from low to high. Or of course, you won't be requesting for support for men, but you also want to give a bit of contribution yourself. So this picture shows you can use my hand to lift something up and so she also makes some part of contribution as well.
みんなで経験を共有し合って、もっと楽しくやっていきましょう。女性にもできるっていう前例作っちゃうとみんなそんなもんかなって思います。意外にやってみるとできちゃいます。なのでもっと、やってみちゃおうっていう気概を持って気持ちを持ってやってみてください。で日本には3人よれば文殊の知恵っていうことわざがあるんですね。で、仲間を増やしてぜひ今日みたいな会で、皆さんの意見とかお話も聞かせてください。それで、私たちはもっともっとできるようになっていくんじゃないかなっていうふうに思います。
So she thinks that it's good and important that we actually make precedents, that women can do it as equally as men. And then as more of us actually show this and demonstrate this, the society, the people around us will just take it naturally. I mean, they don't think, oh, women or not, it's just like a natural thing. So let's just have more people to do this. And then there's a saying in Japan, 3 people getting together rather than yourself. So have more people and then share your wisdom, and then it will be the wisdom of Buddha. So very great wisdom. So let's get together, make more colleagues. Tell us about your experience, and she's very much interested in hearing your experiences as well.
ありがとうございました。Thank you.
And it was really fun, and lots of guys wanted to talk as well. So before we go to Maro, is there anything that you want to comment or?
Thank you. Ren Probo, long-time net girl. First time that I had the opportunity to share a newly opened job at Apple in Tokyo, looking for bilingual senior network engineer. This is hot off the press, so please. See me for details about it. Here's the overview. Senior network engineering role supporting Apple's network infrastructure. This will mainly be focused on work in Japan and Korea, but could include assignments tied to Apple regional or global activities. This work will involve network design, implementation, and network operational support activities. Key qualifications: Cisco, Juniper, routing and switching, and a whole lot of other qualifications, and I'm sure everybody can see me the details. But the fun part about this, it should be working with an exciting, dynamic global team, and we do have many women at Apple. Apple is pro-diversity. Tim Cook came out about that, and many other things. I would welcome the opportunity to work with another woman. Please, come join the team.
Thank you for sharing this opportunity, great to know. And I think Maru is preparing her talk. And so when we were just brainstorming, what kind of things should we talk about, and we were just consulting ourselves. And so I'm married, and my husband is working in the same industry, but we don't have any children. And Maru has a really cute baby girl, and so I was really curious, what is it like to have children and then be able to work at the same time, especially in Japan. I really can't imagine myself continuing going to these trips and then raising kids at the same time. So I think Mara will be talking a little bit about that, and maybe she'll briefly introduce herself in English, but again she'll be talking in Japanese, but the slides are in English.
Hello, I'm Mara, and I was BGP operation and network design and management. Now I am market research and analysis at the network field.
Allow me. Hobby is ballet. Lake Swan, and I've got a daughter, my baby. So cute. お母さんの方ってどれぐらいいるんですかね。ママはどれぐらいいらっしゃいますか。
So how many of you here are like mother Okay, wonderful. Yeah, great.
そうで、one day, me, 泉さん says, I said no.
Yeah, it's a little bit simplified. I understand. It's true.
まあ女性の、不安というか、なんていうんですか、日本語で言っていいですね。女性にいくつか不安が私あると思っていて、can continue my job after boss, give up the boss, want to continue to work, lose position to boss この3つが不安としてあるのかなと皆さん持ってらっしゃる方がいるような気がしています。
Well, I think she's pretty much listed all the core points. So these are the core points that maybe women feel a little bit anxious when you consider about giving birth.
で、私自身がどんなことをやってるかっていうのをちょっとだけ、ご紹介しておきたいなと思ってこういうことを書いてあるんですけども、How can I do ということで、こっちですね。Time is important, do not waste the time. So taking no preparation meeting through time management っていうことで、実際には、スケジュールをきちんと管理することだったりとか、同じようなことはもうとにかく集約しながら時間を最適に使うっていうことを心がけています。
So I think it's pretty clear from her slide. So think efficiently. How can I get work done efficiently? Make good use of time. And if something like duplicate work, get things done at the same time. So those are the kind of things that she keeps in mind.
で、もう一つがdiscuss the I think unnecessary って言ってできるだけ自分でもうこれいらないと思ったことはやらないそうでその結果、これちょっと私英語が正しいかどうかわかんないんですけど I can big job って書いてあるのは一人でやるよりか結局協力してもらって、いろんな人に協力してもらいながらやっていくことで結局、子供がいなかった時に一人でやるよりかずっと効率的にいい仕事ができるようになったかなというのがなんとなく感想であります。
Oh, I think she made an interesting point. So, first point was be bold about the things that you think is not necessary. So just, don't be like, oh, am I not being nice? Or no, just say, I can't do this. And then another thing she learned was that when she didn't have children, she tended to do things on her own, the things she can do. But then she would delegate with others and found out that things can actually get done sometimes better than doing it on her own. So this was a learning.
あともう一つが There is no rework of output ってあるんですけど、やっぱりやり直さないっていうこともすごく重要ですね。時間を効率的に使うという意味では、そういった前のことも含めて、割と自分のやっていることを見直すことで、母親になってからの方が仕事がすごくクリアになってきたかなというような、評価も、ボスからもらったりしています。
So well, I think there's no luxury to review in terms of redo the work. So concentrate on what you can do and not really look back. And actually, she found that she had to think about what would be the best way to get work done. So she is more efficient and she is actually evaluated better from within the organization after giving birth.
ただ、諦めてることも当然あってですね、彼もちょっと抑え気味だし、ドリンキングなんかももうちょっと少し減らして、ケースを減らせるということで。
So I know that you love ballet, and then I so know that you love drinking, but it's sort of not putting yourself to full stretch and to be with your family. Yeah, I can totally see this.
最も抑えていることっていうのは実はこの書いてあることで、ワークオータイムっていうことはやっぱり我慢していることの一つですね。やっぱり思いっきり本当私も仕事がしたいんですけれども、この後出てくるんですが、そんな時間はやっぱり許されないので、限られた時間を一生懸命使うためにいろんなテクニカルなツールっていうのが今は
シスコの WebEx とかさまざ、まなツールがあるので、そういうのを有効に使いながら、効率的に仕事をするっていうことを今は、努めているような形です。
And it might sound a bit strange to say, oh, she can't work overtime even if she doesn't want to. Maybe it's just more like Japanese context, but what she means is she wants to give her like 100% to her job, but you know she has to leave it after the office hour. So what she does is, okay, finish, go home, but make efficient use of time at home using tools such as WebEx and some kind of online way of working.
これ私の一日、大体こんな感じで過ごしてるっていうような感じなんですけど、やっぱり朝早く起きて、子供が起きる前にですね、いろんなことをやって、子供が寝ついた後にもう一回仕事をするっていうことをしてる。これが一つのタイムマネジメントでもあるし、実際に例えばこれは仕事に出る日なんですけれども、休日もこういう、タイムマネジメントしながら過ごしているというような感じですね。
Wow, amazing! You wake up at 4:30. Yeah, so she will wake up early and then like do a bit of work before she goes to bed, and then so this is like for like business days, but yeah, she does something similar to time management for weekends as well.
そう、で、私自身がどんなことを気をつけてるかっていうと、やっぱり働かせてもらってるって、これすごい日本的かもしれないですけど、Thank you for the me to work っていう気持ちをすごい持っています。で、例えば、サポートしてくれる人がいるから自分は働けるし、働かせてもらってるっていうことを実は感謝すべきなんじゃないかということで、ファミリーだったり、当然旦那さんだったりとか同僚、あと子供ですね、子供にも本当に、働くことを許してもらってるのかなというふうに思ってます。
So she feels really thankful for this environment to be able to work, and so she's so I think it's just not granted that she is able to work, and so it's all because of the environment, people who support us. So her family, her partner, her colleagues, and of course she's also very thankful to her daughter for her to be able to spend time at work. So she's been very thankful.
でこれが工夫している私のノートなんですけれども、上が仕事用ですね、Meeting Memo to Clear Fat Who Where こういうのをクリアにしておきましょう。でもう一つの方がスケジュールで、これはプライベートと仕事で色を分けたりとか、自分がどこに空き時間があるのかっていうのをきちんと視覚的に分かるようにこういうものを使いながら、管理していくというような感じになります。
Wow, so like she has notes. So the first one is to help her clarify her thoughts, in the process of brainstorming. The other one is keeping her schedule. So she uses different colors for her private schedule and her work schedule, so that it's visually like you can identify immediately if there's blank available time visually.
あともう一つ、これはフェイバリットツールということでメッセージスタンプとか、これは日本語で書いてあるので皆さん分からないかもしれないですが、ありがとうとか、お疲れ様とか、了解とか、いろんな、メッセージスタンプですね。あともう一つはメッセージメモっていうのを、これは私が用意しているもの、私物です。
For your family? Message stamps? Your family is for your family or your colleagues? Oh, so she uses this message notes and stamps saying thank you or like a good job and things like that. So these are the things that she would use to communicate with her colleagues as well.
で、これ例えば、女性の社会進出とかっていうのとちょっと反するかもしれないんですけども、私は割とそのガーリッシュなツールっていうのを使うことで、同僚たちの心が癒されたりとか、なんかちょっとホッとできたらいいなと思って、あえて逆に可愛いものっていうものも使います。事務的なものではなくてイラストが描いてあったりとか、そういうものを使うことで、なんか頼まれた側からするとちょっと忙しいのにと思っても、ちょっとお疲れ様ですとかってスタンプがあることで、心が和んだらいいなという気持ちで、こういうのを逆に女子として選んでいます。
So she's very conscious that she uses this cute kawaii, that's in Japanese, things when she communicates, because when you're really busy and you're requested to do something, if it's very admin things, you think, oh yeah, but if, you get things with cute messages, or maybe it's a Japanese thing, you feel a little bit, okay, yeah, maybe, feel a bit positive, or so she feels that this is something that she's consciously doing is, being a woman. Maybe it's a Japanese thing, but...
で、あともう一つが、これって今までお話ししてきたそのタイムマネジメントとかっていうのはもうママに関係なくですね仕事をしてる人が仕事とのバランスを保つ上だったりとか仕事のクオリティを上げる上で実はすごく重要なんじゃないかな女性に関係なく男性も同じだしママに関係なく若手の人たちもみんな同じだと信じている。
So she feels that, the things that she talked about, it's not just for like women with children, but it can be applied to women who don't have children, or even be applicable for men to work efficiently and use good use of time.
私からは以上です。
Thank you. So, if people feel like commenting, you don't have to sit and listen the whole time. You can just raise your hand and say, hey, I have something I want to say in between the presentation as well.
Well, my wife went through a lot of this with 2 kids. The first time she was able to get back to work after a couple of months, and she has a team of around 25, 30 people that she used to handle, running software QA and stuff like that. After that, around 3 years back, we had our second kid, and that's when she actually quit her job, which was because of 2 things. One was that her office moved to a location that would have been a 2-hour commute, and 2, her job involved more and more travel, managing teams across 3 different cities. So it was like 1, the commute, and 2, the travel were things where time management of the sort you described just don't work the same way, unfortunately. And being a manager, she had to be there with her team rather than try to manage them remotely. The team was very young, it would not have been fair to them. Which was why, with a lot of reluctance, she decided to give up her job and focus on the home. I think she might get back to work as the kid is much older now, but this kind of thing that you described is certainly something that she found very useful, and thank you for talking about it.
Thank you, Suresh. 奥さんが、sorry to speak in Japanese 奥さんが働いてらっしゃったんだけど、結構出張とか、いろいろな国際的にいろんな場所に行かなきゃいけなかったり、オフィスが変わって通勤でっていうことがあって、2人のお子さんの時に辞めなきゃいけなかったと。なのでちょっと状況によって違うっていうこともあるけれど、経験を共有してくれてありがとうっていうことでした。Thank you for sharing this.
Hello, I'm Brenda from APRICOT. I'm in the same situation. I've got a 2-year-old, and I'm here. One thing I found beneficial, like your schedule, it's basically what I do. You wake up early, do the housework. So to give yourself a break, maybe get someone, housekeeper, to do just 2 hours cleaning. I found that useful just before a weekend so that you can get to relax as well. That's my opinion.
Thank you. 同じような感じだよと。で、ただ自分で自由な時間を持つためにちょっとお手伝いさんとか、日本だと難しいけれど、そんな感じのことを言ってました。Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for very interesting presentation. My name is Miwa from APRICOT. I just wanted to mention about Don-chan and Maro-sama. Those 2 ladies I used to relate to all the time through journals. And they are so powerful and they are so positive and happy all the time. And I really, really wanted them to do review for this international conference. And this finally happened. And I'm so happy Don-chan and Mano-chan came here and shared their stories. So thank you very much. That's my personal thanks to those ladies. But I also want to say one more thing. I don't have any kids, but I have one husband. And I want to spend my time with him as much as possible. And those houseworks is relatively, high stake. So what I found recently is that iRobot, I became such a big fan of iRobot. After it's so much serious research, I decided to buy this iRobot vacuum cleaner. And it's actually as one of the tools for you to consider. I highly recommend. It just cleans the house when you are doing something, and the house, you can keep the house relatively clean. And I found that was very useful to save my time. So that's the best, very practical suggestion. どんちゃん、まろちゃん、本当にありがとうございました。どうしてもあなたたちにもここに来て話をしてもらいたかったので、すごく嬉しいです。ありがとう。それからバキュームクリーナーのアイロボットおすすめです。
Hello, thank you. I'm Meredith from Google. I do not have any kids, but I have team members, and one of whom just had a child. And what I saw here was just brilliant, intelligent ideas for managing everything. What I would like to also talk about is how people who support you, your colleagues, and the companies you work for could also support people who have children and who need to find balance, so that it is not always an individual who has to do everything, but what can I do as somebody who's a manager? What can my company and my colleagues do to create environments where people don't get too tired to work, don't leave their jobs, and have the space for that?
Hi, I'm Vesna from RAPNCC from Europe.
彼女がGoogle の方なんですけれど、言ってたのが本当にご自身で工夫されてって素晴らしいと思うんだけど、個人だけじゃなくて彼女はそのチームマネージャーなので会社としてとか働いている同僚として何かサポートして工夫できることっていうのを考えていきたいと言ってるので、もしなんかそういうことで思うことがあれば、ちょっと時間もあるけれどまたちょっとシェアしていただければと思います。
Hi, I do have kids, I have 2 children, and I wanted to comment on the facilities that were available to me from my employer at that time. One was very recently introduced, like in my history recently, and that was a nursery room. So it was a room where I could go to actually, what is called in Dutch or in English, I don't know, to express the milk so that somebody else can feed my child while I'm away. And the other positive thing would be, but that's not really a Dutch law, is to enable the father to take the parental leave. So my employer, RAPNCC, they do that, but that's just their decision to do it. It's not part of the Dutch law to, so the mother can take 3 months off and the father can take 2 days off. So that's really not very balanced.
彼女はライブ CC のウェスナさんなんですけど、その前に働いてたところで、組織の中ではちょっとこう委託状っていうのかな、預けるところがすごく助かるということと、あとオランダの法律だと男性も育休が取れるので、そういうこともできるといいよねと思います。例えばその女性が3ヶ月産休取って男性が2日とかだとちょっとねバラせてないねとか、そんな話をしてました。So maybe I do want to have the other 2 speakers to speak, but maybe Amano-san, if you have like some last comment related to this, なんかコメントしたいことあります？じゃあ一言だけ。
日本語になっちゃってすみません。多分制度とかっていうのもすごく重要なんですけれども、私がもっと重要だと思うのはその同僚とか、仲間がどんな生活をしているのかとかっていうのをある程度知ってあげるだけで。例えば、子供が1人います。で、普段こういう生活をしているので、どうしてもお迎えに行かなきゃいけない、保育園の迎えに行かなきゃいけないから、この時間でミーティングを終わらせてほしいっていうことを理解ではない、知ることだけで、理解ではなくて、 があるし、そういうことだけで助け私はリスクではないと思ってる、母親になったことをリスクではないと思ってるんだけど、でもやっぱりミーティングの時間が30分延びることが難しい生活の中で知っててあげるだけで30分前に帰っていいよってあるので、気遣いが出てくるので、それだけで全然世の中わかる。政府の産休育休とかっていう問題だったりとか支援とかそういうことではなくて、仲間がどうサポートしてあげるかだと。
So she actually feels that it's more than the actual physical scheme or what the government does and things like this. It's actually more important that the colleagues, the people who work around these mothers, no, you don't have to fully understand. But no, okay, she has this schedule and keep a note, and it would help her to finish a meeting before this time, and this will actually is a great help. So the people around us, just the fact that acknowledging that, my colleague who is a mother has this kind of very tight schedule and allow this kind of flexibility. Okay, like she's busy today, so let's just move a meeting at earlier time, or maybe I don't know. She didn't say this, but maybe project-wise, assign her for this, or be flexible and just noting what your colleague is doing in terms of relation with the family. So that was her comment. So I do want to move to another two speakers, and I do want to say I wanted to say exactly the same we were saying. These two ladies here, they're so active in JANOG. Maro is a committee of JANOG and APRICOT as well, and great to have this opportunity to be able to introduce this community in Japan. So let's go to Yanis.
Thanks, Cecily, and I didn't prepare any slides because Miwa initially told me it's very casual gathering. But Don and Merle had a very interesting presentation, so it makes me a little bit nervous right now because I'm not sure what I prepared is interesting. I just prepared to talk a little bit about myself and my work because they told me it's just to start the dialogue. So I just briefly introduced myself and what I do. And indeed, I study marketing and management in university. So what I'm doing right now is not technical at all. And actually, I'm here not exactly for the APRICOT meetings as well. So I'm not sure if I can say myself as a tech girl. So that's one of the challenges actually that I found when I go out and meet new people. Because oftentimes my friends ask me, what do you do? Where do you work? And then I say, I work for .Asia. It's an internet domain registry. It's a not-for-profit company. And then they say, okay, so what exactly do you do? Because internet domain registry, when we say to the industry people, do you understand immediately? But when we say to my friends, then they just don't know what it is. And then they usually give me a puzzle look. And then so what exactly I do? And then here comes another challenge is I found my job very interesting myself, but then I always found it very difficult to tell people how interesting it is and explain what I do. And so that's another challenge. So today I tried to be as interesting as I could, and if I'm not interesting as Don and Meryl, so it's not the job that is not interesting, but it's probably myself not interesting enough. So my main job right now is actually with Asia, and then I support the Asia Pacific Regional Internet Governance Forum as the secretariat. And I'm in charge of a youth ambassador program, which is called Net Mission. So we bring young people to internet conferences like ICANN and the IGF, and because we think actually, the next generation, the young people, they're the ones that really using the internet, so they should also have a voice in talking about all these policy issues. And so that's why we do this. We always bring young people to all these conferences. But what I really wanted to share is another initiative that I'm working on right now, which is called the DocKids, and it's KIDS, Children. And actually, when people think about domain names, they always think that's just an address that you get to, to get to your website, and it's not that much of a meaning or value. But then I think it actually could be a very interesting application if you use different domain names. And so 2 years ago when ICANN launched this new GTLE program, I'm not sure if every one of you here is familiar with that. So basically you can right now apply for and run any new type of domains, for example, .music, .baby, or whatever you like. So that's why one of my colleagues who actually works involved in the children's rights sector for a long time, and she came to me and saying, why don't we create a better internet for kids and to make it a more like kids-friendly space. And so that's why we go ahead and to have this application and to trying to run for this .kids domain. Because I mean, nowadays children are getting online younger and younger. So when parents think about internet, they always think it's negative. I mean, it's a lot of bad content online, and it's just harmful to the children. But I wouldn't say they're like 100% wrong, because there is just full of information out there on the internet, and then so it's indeed quite overwhelming to children, and so that's why we think. The children just don't know where they can go for like some suitable information for them, and which is, I mean, easy for them to understand. So that's why we think we can get this .kids website. So everything on there is, I mean, kids friendly, and it's not just about the safety, but it's also like to actively promoting positive content instead of blocking everything from them. Because I mean, you can never like control the internet entirely. So think about it. I mean, we can have this National Geographic.kids or DailyNews.kids, and then so that the children can, when they do homework, they can just go to all these websites to find whatever information they want. And then my team is also like thinking to create a tool that can generate graphics automatically from a text or news passage so that the children can easily understand. So we hope that, I mean, in the future, through these projects, that we can create and like promote the atmosphere of the internet to really have more kids-friendly content. And every .com, they will have like a .kids version of their website. And we're actually very excited to already like brainstorming different ideas on how we can like create more children-related or children-friendly tools online. And then, although we haven't really get the domain yet, it's a long process. But then, we look forward, and actually, I look forward to meet more different technical talents of you guys, and to bring some together what we can do, like to create this kids-friendly internet. And actually, that's all I prepared to say, which seems not as interesting, but yeah, thanks.
That was great. Thank you, Yanis. I do really agree. I have the same issue. Like when I'm explaining to my friends like how exciting my job is, they're like, "Oh, we have to work so hard," and they feel sorry for me. Like, I like it, but yeah. But so like, I mean, as long as I enjoy it, it's fine. And I think a lot of us maybe not really fully familiar with what's happening with the domains. So I think it was great that you actually shared, and the motivation behind it as well. And I think we probably want people to get going for the session. So let's go to Chika, and people can talk to Yanis if you're interested in other things that she talked about.
So we only have 10 minutes, right? Okay, let's get started. I need to fit my slides to the 10 minutes. So actually, I'm not sure, but I've lost my voice since last night. I'm not sure the reason, but actually in reality, my voice is more beautiful than the current my voice. So sorry about that. So I'm Chika from NTT Communication. I'm NTT America. I've been working for NTT for this 13 years, so it's a long time. So actually, I'm previously a network architect for OCN, which is an ISP operated by NTT. And since a couple of years ago, maybe 2012, I don't remember, but I've been transferred to the US to work for a different ISP in
which is called Jen. So currently I'm physically based in San Jose, so I'm glad to be here at competition finally. So yes, actually that is what I'm like. So actually I have one more role that the Gender Spelling Committee, as Izumi mentioned earlier. So actually the committee members are currently 12 people and only 2 females are in it. So, like her mentioned earlier, one is Maru-san and the other is me, so only 2 females. And also, I'm a member of APRICOT program committee this time. I'm not sure, I don't know, but I think I'm the only female in the program committee as well. So in a way, I was and I am currently in 2 minorities. One is as a Japanese in the US because I am not English native speaker. So, and also as a female in this technical industry. Let me speak a little bit about my experience in OCN. So I've been in OCN for 10 years actually. So I was the only female in the tech team for that 10 years. So actually that team had around 20 people, but I'm the only female. So, I think you guys, I hope that you guys imagine my difficulty in the team. And also, I had also almost never experienced to work with other females. Actually, I was working for server operation team, like operating the DNS server, mail server for the ISP. So as for the, a different team like routing, the operation team, there is no female actually. So for me, it was really rare to see other female colleague. And also, you can imagine that NTT is a really Japanese-oriented company. So at that time, there is no female manager around me. So actually, it was really sad for me. So, and also, this graph shows the ratio of how many females work for NTT as of 2013, I think 2 years ago. And so that the left side is indicating the total employees of NTT Group. And actually, not total employees of NTT Group. NTT has a bunch of subsidiary companies. So this number shows that the employees working for 6 main subsidiaries in NTT. So totally the employees is around 50,000 employees. And the female percentage is only 70% of them, so it's a little bit, low. And also the middle of the graph means that about management level employees. So in that 6 subsidiaries, there are around 11,000 managers. But as for female manager, the ratio is only 3.48%, so it's really, really low. But actually, NTT is recently trying to increase female percentage. So as for the new employees, the percentage is now around 30%, so it might be getting better. So let me speak a little bit about my experience working in June. Actually, I'm still being a minority. Like I said, I'm the only Japanese. I'm not only, but anyway, I'm not native English speaker. So, and also in my tech team, there are around 25 people. So actually, there is my colleague in here, Christina. Yep. So I'm glad to see you here. But actually, in that 55 people, females are only 5 people. So yeah, much improved than OCL, but still here, right? So as for general, you might know, general is network operators group in Japan. So it's kind of similar to real not sure the exact percentage, but my guess is under 10%. So I'm guessing that it is kind of same ratio compared to Nanook or any other Nook, I think. So actually, to be honest, I'm not so positive about talking about only female. So I don't want to be a female-dominated person. However, there is a fact that few females work for technical industry. So as for engineers, I joined a couple of NOGs and technical conferences like this in the US and Asia. But what I always feel is, oh, too much man in here. No female, few female, right? So, from just out of my curiosity, I've been wondering why so few females works for technical world. I posted my question to Facebook in Japanese. And actually I got lots of comments from my Japanese friends. By the way, it is believed that Japanese people are really shy but to say their opinion, but that is not true. Even with Japanese people community, people in Japan, are shy, but that is because the language barrier. We don't speak in English so well, so actually, we are not native speakers, so that's kind of barrier for us to speak about our opinion. So, as for me, I've been working for the US for this couple of years, but still now I couldn't say my opinion in English. I couldn't speak up because I'm a lack of confidence of English. So I hope you can enjoy that, right? So, and actually, I've been wondering what's the reason why so few female are working for technical industry. So actually there is, excuse me. Actually there is, I think no single answer, things are really complicated, and also it depends on each country and each environment, each scene, each moment or something like that. So, however, I have a couple of guesses about that, about the fact from my perspective. So let me break three things. So one is females tend to think, oh, I can do that easier than males. So that's what I feel. For instance, so when we have a question like in conference like this, they might be too shy and hesitate to do anything in front of everyone in publicity, right? So because they have less confidence, than male. So that's my guess. And second is, I'm not sure this might be only in Japan, but there is a few female role model as an engineer in Japan. So as for me, so when I face with trouble, like how to communicate with male, something like that, actually I don't know what's the best practice. I can't consult with anyone actually because there is but few female role model, right? So actually, so in a way we are always a pioneer to open the door to work, especially in Japan. As repeating such a thing, I think female might get exhausted and leave for the different industry. That's what I guess. And the third thing is that so I'm sorry about that. My voice is really beautiful in reality. I'm sorry. And the third thing is that for female, working might not always in high priorities. We have a bunch of choices. Like marathon, female can give a birth to babies. So that might be, higher priority for people. And also, taking care of their parents might be, having higher priority or something like that. So, a female has a lot of choices. So that's what I was guessing about that is not the issue. So,
expressing opinions, but it really depends a lot on the environment. As you can see from these, ladies who, made presentations, we're a really active community. So, and I don't know how much of what Chika has shared resonates with your culture, but I really see this from looking at things from Japan. I really see what you're talking about. And so officially the time is over, and I do want to thank all the speakers and the people who participated. So if you want stickers or information about net growth, please take a look. Please take it. And so it's over, but actually I think Shanti, you have some interesting project that you may be able to want to share. So if there's anybody who's interested in hearing Shanti's story, then I know please feel to stay, and maybe Shanti can share a little bit of what you do.
I do actually have some pictures. So that's if you want. Okay, so my name's Shanti. I'm from Sydney, and I work with my husband. Live together, work together, get sick of each other. We build large-scale networks for corporates, and we build ISPs. And we're carrier neutral, and we're one of a kind in the southern hemisphere, so that's pretty cool. And normally I do a lot of the boring kind of project management and making sure the geeks and the C-levels can talk to each other, but not too much. So I do a lot of the geek translation. But we recently rebuilt the network for the Sydney Harbour Bridge and Anzac Bridge and a lot of bridges around Sydney. So all the networks that support the security and anti-terrorism networks on those bridges. So they basically allow the cameras to talk to each other and back to the control room. So it was a really fun project, and I thought that this would be a really good forum to share about it, because it actually involved me getting up inside the Harbour Bridge and the Anzac Bridge in Sydney, which is they're very iconic bridges, so it was really fun. High vis vests, not attractive. But hours in the cold, outside near racks and, racking equipment. I don't have the height problem, and I'm fairly strong, so I'm actually better than a lot of our, we geeks at racking equipment. So carrying heavy things is the strong suit for me, and then lifting them into racks, which made me really valuable, not just project management, so that was really fun. But there's a couple of pictures. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Whatever. They're not actually that exciting. But basically, this project was really fun because it's really different kind of work that a normal engineer would do. For the most part, we're at customer premises, and you're putting a piece of equipment into a rack, in a safe little computer room or in a data center, and it's all really nice. But these racks that we were putting equipment into, they were actually, inside the Harbour Bridge. They were inside the Harbour Bridge, or you'd have trains going up above you and trying not to lose cage bolts, and it was really fun. Basically, hard hats and, we're supposed to wear hard hats. But I just thought I'd share that because something along the point of Don's talk is you don't have to rely on the guys to do this sort of stuff. You can do it. It's fun. It's new experiences. We can all do this sort of stuff. It's fun. It's different, and it's way better than just sitting in front of a computer. So,